First, I think we as Catholics, we definitely need to listen to what our good Pope Francis is saying, and to look at what he is doing. And then I think we need also to move ourselves into positions of creating platforms of dialogue with our parishes, platforms of dialogue possibly in other places. But what is really needed is to open our ears and to open our eyes, and possibly also to speak up. And to speak up and to give not only feelings of compassion, which are badly needed, but also to give facts and figures about how many migrants, how many refugees are coming, how we could actually need them, and how we could actually also protect us from unwelcome elements. It happens, and we need then also to say we are, as Catholics, we are of course full of sympathy, we are full of compassion, we are ready to help, and we understand if you take some security measures, we understand if you check new arrivals, we understand also that we need to organize platforms for safe passage, safe transit, safe welcome, and actually this is not only a question of ideas, this is really a question of needs for the refugees, for the migrants, for the countries of origin, for the countries of transit, and for us as countries of destination. And we as Christians, we as Catholics, we also need to show and to ask for, actually to demand for, religious freedom. Meaning by that refugees have the right to exercise their faith, but we also ask that in their countries of origin, they could be able to profess their faith and to use their churches and to actually be publicly, I must say, visible as citizens, as and if we don't defend, I must say, the full line from the country of origin to the country of destination, not only assistance, but also protection, not only food and shelter, but also rights. And we have also to demand that countries supporting conflicts should actually now give as much resources for the peaceful solution of those conflicts. Because what's happening in Syria is actually the best example that now both Russia and America understood that it should be over. Russia and America and possibly other countries are now working very hard to convince everyone in Syria to stop the fighting, to try to find a peaceful solution. I think it's badly needed, and Catholics should be also working for peace, because quite often the most tragic cause of migrants and refugee flows are wars. And we have to see that in the past, and possibly still today, we have mass flows of people due to famine. But famine not by natural disasters, but famine by political will of certain governments. We have to see also that we might have mass flows of people because of climatic changes. And all of this, I must say, as Catholics, we have to defend a human ecology. And that, again, we'll find in our good Pope Francis' message in Laudato Si encyclical letter. That's a message which needs to be, I must say, not only repeated, but implemented. And we after that we'll see that this message is very deep, and this message will actually deal with the root causes of those migrant and refugee mass flows. And so I think as Catholics we cannot of course abstain also from praying, because I think definitely we need to pray for peace, we need to pray for refugees, we need to pray for migrants, and we need actually to pray that we can build and maintain peaceful communities, even if we have different people. Diversity could be an asset, could be a plus and not a minus, and this we need also to exemplify, to learn the lessons of history, and to show, for example, that my own country, my own city, Geneva, we did benefit so much from refugees, beginning with the Protestant refugees, creating banks, creating the watchmaking industry here in Geneva, from German migrants creating the Swiss machine industry, from Mr. Hayek recreating, resurrecting the watch-making industry a few years ago. And so we have to show people, those refugees are actually contribution, not only to our good heart, but they might be a contribution actually to the prosperity of our country. They most probably will be a contribution to the prosperity of the generations